What's going on, guys, on this beautiful Texan weather today? I'm back at one of my customers' house here. If you remember, I did the AC compressor and a fan replacement on that CRV. They have a similar generation CRV here with AC problems. What do you know? One of the most common problems on this generation and the one before that. So this is going to be a pretty quick diagnosis. First of all, I came in and I hooked up my manifold gauges, and I had good static pressure. Okay. Then I went inside the car and started up, and now what do you see? The condenser fan is on, but the AC compressor is not kicking on. Okay. So far I can, pretty much kind of determine that the AC compressor, it's no good. How we're gonna now, get 100% conclusive diagnosis, meaning that we don't have maybe a broken wire between the fuse box here, right, and the actual compressor. That's the only thing we need to verify. We're gonna just unplug the connector, the compressor, and check for powers and ground. If we have powers and ground, done. We need a new compressor. Or we can check for continuity to the relay and see if, we get a light. Basically, we find ground through the coil winding of the clutch. But it fails on different ways. It can fail on the clutch side. It can fail internally anyway. So that is just one side of the test. But the most conclusive test is go to the compressor itself, unplug the connector, and test for powers and ground. The fact that one fan is on tells me the rest of the system is sound, meaning the computer of the car is recognizing the pressures that's in the car is good enough. Everything that's electrically, speaking, meaning from the switch all the way out here is A-OK. Because if not, you would have the condenser fan on and the condenser fan is on, right? So that's already telling you something, but very clear direction where you need to go and where not to waste your time, digging. So what I'm gonna try to do is the easiest diagnosis as possible. I don't get paid for this crap. So I'm gonna turn the wheel all the way to the passenger side. Let me turn this off for now because it's getting on my nerves. It's hot air coming out here. Alright, so I'm gonna go and peel off the fender line on our side so I can have access to the compressor without having to jack up the car and remove the wheel and all that stuff. That's basically what I'm trying not to do, because like I said, when you don't get paid for diagnosing the car, really you don't want to spend too much energy doing that, especially that I gotta drive a while to get over here. But since that's my good customer, I don't mind doing them because I know it's going to fix the car with me anyway, right? It may not be today, but that's the point. So let me go get my test light. We're gonna come around here, find a way to get to this connector by peeling off this cover right here. Then you can see if you're peeling off from that side, you'll be able to get access to the compressor from that side. And then we'll test the wires. If we have powers and ground clearly, done. Going home, and I don't feel like working today, honestly. It's a beautiful day. I want to go ride my motorcycle. Alright, so I peeled the underbelly cover kind of off to the side, which have access to the AC compressor, which looks like it was replaced. Doesn't look like the original compressor. I think it was made back then. So anyhow, I'm trying to see if I can see that red wire. It even has a hole in it already. So somebody was here working it itself. Maybe not this time, but maybe a while back. So the way these ones work, because they have a thermal switch, which is right underneath here. There's my finger, right underneath here. There's a thermal switch. So you have to have continuity for this one to have ground. If the thermal switch is bad, then you're not going to have ground on this side. But we can check for power right there. And there's no easy way to check for continuity except that you have to remove the connector right here. I don't know if you get in this picture. So remove the connector and check for continuity, make sure this is not blown, this thermal switch. But either way it goes, if it's blown still, you cannot replace this thing by itself. We're going to replace the whole compressor. So let's just check for power. Now that I'm hooked up at the body of the, zoom out, Zoom out a little bit. I'm hooked up to the body of the starter right there for ground. So we're just gonna poke that wire in the same exact spot, looking for power once we cut the car on. The other way you can do it if you have a scanner is to just do active mode, and you can do the same thing using the scanner. But this is low tech. Anybody can do it. Start the car, AC is on, right? Let's go check for power. We have power. End of diagnosis. Let's check the light. And we don't have power. So, right there. All right. That's assuming that my ground is good. Me trying to see if I have another ground that's more reliable ground. I mean, the transmission is grounded for sure, so you gotta have good testing ground. I don't know, maybe this bolts. Alright, so I'm assuming that's a good ground and my light is not starting. Alright, now we're gonna go to the fuse box. And we're gonna locate the clutch fuse. Let me retrieve my testing device here. Light is working properly. Let's look for the clutch fuse, which is going to be right there, 7.5 amp, which is not the first one, the second one, this one. We got power on one side, power on the other side. So our fuse is good. Now we're gonna get to our relay, which always, I don't remember which one it is, one of these relays, because I think this is it. Either way, I think this one or alright, but anyway, let me pause it. I'm gonna get something to extract this relay. Alright, so I took out the relay. The way this works, the big terminals are going to be the load side, and the small one's going to be the commanding side. So we're just going to go to the load side directly. I'm on ground right now. Make sure my test light works. We're going to go test looking for some power, constant power here, and we do have constant power. So now we're going to look for the computer command, which should be the next one. Well, if the computer commanding these two right here, so I should be able to find ground if everything is good there. So let's go to power. Let's look for that ground here. And the ground is good. So this is finding ground basically through the coil of the AC compressor clutch. So which means my clutch is in good shape. So now let me look for the command side. I mean the control side. Control side, I got my constant power, and this should be the ground from the computer. So let's see if the computer is grounding it or no. And the computer is grounding it, right? So everything from here going to the compressor looks to be fine. If this is the AC compressor relay, I'm not even sure, but that's what it looks like to me. And the way I'm going to verify that is I'm going to stay on power. See how you can see that command being there? If I switch the AC off, that light should be going off if I'm on the right relay. So I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to turn the AC off now. That's set. Light goes off. So that's the right relay. everything seems to be working fine. So I'm just gonna swap the relay. Computer, AC is back on, light is on. All right, so let's just do a swaptronics with the relays, and just to kind of rule that out, I'm gonna just pick a relay out of here. I don't know which one, doesn't matter. All right, this one right here, maybe. Try not to damage this relay, but all right. No change. So I think that was the relay for the wipers, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna put the old relay from the compressor clutch here. Okay. And I'm gonna go turn the AC on now. Oh, the compressor came on. Yes, now I heard the compressor come on. I heard the compressor clutch come on. Yeah, and it's turning, so that was just a relay problem. Look at it, right there. The clutch is spinning now, so look at that shit, huh? We almost called the AC compressor, and that would have been the wrong call. Oh yeah, it's getting cold now, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So you saw a very quick diagnosis of, the system. Now we're gonna go check the wire that I was referring to earlier. I'm gonna assume this is a good ground on the body of the starter, and I'm gonna go check for power now at the red wire here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Right there, power. All right, problem solved. It was a bad relay. The man can continue enjoying his AC. Doesn't have to replace this situation. The pressures are okay. I mean, I would like to have a small, lower pressure on the this side right here, but I'm thinking the reason why is because this other fan is not working. So that's the next test I want to do. Make sure that fan is supposed to work at the same time. I think they're supposed to both come on at the same time when the AC compressor is on. So we still might have to replace that fan, but this is working. Okay, so let's get out of here. Well, not get out of here yet. I'm gonna now turn it off. I'm gonna try to get to the connector for the fan and do the same simple test, powers and ground. So now that relay has to be replaced. I'm gonna see if I have a replacement relay like that. I might have in my box there. We're gonna throw a brand new relay to on this one right here. In the meantime, I do want to get access to this fan. Okay, right there. I'm not probably gonna be able to do it with my one hand, but let me just take. Well, I could poke the wire, which I don't want to do though. Yeah, I want to poke the wire. Let me just remove this connector, and I'll be right back. All right, so connector is out. This is coming from the fuse box. So let me just test for a good ground first of all, because that's the easier one. Right now the car's not on, so it's not going to give me power. And I have a good ground right there, as you can see. So this other terminal right here should be the power side. Let's just go to ground. We're going to turn the AC on, and we're going to see if we got power. If we got power there, I mean that fan's supposed to come on with the condenser fan together when you have the AC on. All right, AC's on. All right. So look at that. And we do have power. So that fan needs to be replaced at the very least. All right, guys, that was the end of my diagnosing. You saw the process very quickly, very efficiently. I hope it can help you in your diagnosing without the use of any fancy equipment here. All right, guys. Oh yeah, I gotta replace that relay. I got one in my relay box. Sometime when I go to the junkyard, I get a lot of those in case, So we're gonna replace this one that I borrowed, that I believe is defective. Right there. I'm gonna grab this one instead. And that's about it. done ski. Job well done. Let's just replace the radiator fan and life is back together. Alright, so I was going to go home after the diagnosis, but he wanted me to fix it, so we got a fan. That's the old one. Basically took the passenger side because this one bolt here is kind of hard to get to. You can get to it, it's not a big deal. I just didn't want to take it all the way off. So I took this fan out and I just lit, and well, this was the main thing. I didn't want to have to lose coolant, and the system is kind of under pressure because it's still warm from when I was doing my testing and starting the car. So anyway, long story short, here we go. We're going to slide it down, slide it to the right side, do the same thing, put this one back on, the condenser fan, test it out, and go home. Okay, guys? I'll show you after shot, hopefully. Alright, just to show you the final product. Right here, we got a working fan on this side, working fan on the other side. Okie doke, job done. Let's get out of here.